I was 12 years old when I first left my mom's house. I was 12 years old.
12?
I was 12.
Why'd you leave at 12?
I got molested by my mom's husband at the age of 12, and I went into foster care. He was like, yeah, your mom don't do this stuff. You know, I want you to be my new wife. I asked your mom to do it. She don't never do it.
How did you have mom and I guess the brothers and nobody knew? Like, what happened? See, and the reason why I ask these questions is because we see these type of behaviors in some young ladies and we just think they're just being bad or they're just doing this or doing that. But these may be signs that something may be happening.
Trauma.
This may be crass, so audience, forgive me. And you forgive me too, right, if this is crass. But do you think that if mom was, you know, giving them toppy, you know what I'm saying, that he would have ever came at you like that?
What's up, YouTube?
So guys, I'm back in the gym with Katie, back on the meal plan with Chef Said, and back in the streets full time.
So it's time to get back to the content.
What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. It's a beautiful day out here. Beautiful day. All right, so so you guys called me out here, you know, with Jasmine and whatnot. So are you homeless?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so what's your situation?
Well, my situation is I'm blessed. I was homeless a month ago, but God blessed me and my husband with an apartment.
That's amazing. So this is just a month ago.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so how long were you homeless for?
And I'm not gonna say I was homeless because homeless is nowhere to go. I was in a homeless shelter.
So hold on. So let me. So there's levels to homelessness, right? And so if you're in a shelter, it's homeless.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So because even people in like hotels and things like that, homeless, right?
Right.
If anything happens to their income or whatever, and they're out on the street the next day. So anytime you could be on the street the next day, I consider that it. But it's levels to it.
Right.
So, but I get it. So okay. So you was in the shelter, and how long? That's what I'm saying. How long were y'all homeless for?
We was in the shelter for about December, January, February, about 2 months.
About 2-3 months.
2-3 months.
Okay. So, what was it that made you become? Oh, by the way, how old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Y'all are so young. All right, and so. What was it that made you become homeless in the first place?
Can I be very vulnerable and honest?
I want you to be extremely vulnerable and honest.
Cool. So I was doing things. I'm a firm believer of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I was doing things. I was being disobedient, and God had to humble me. Just as a father would do his child. If your child not behaving, you're gonna take certain things that you gave to them away. You're gonna allow them to reach rock bottom so they can recognize and they can do better. Because if you know better, you do better.
I love that. So what was it that you was doing?
So we was engaged, and you know, you shouldn't fornicate, you know, but people have certain beliefs, but I was trying to live by it.
Y'all need to stop trying to explain before you tell. Just tell me what happened, and then you can explain.
Cool. So, as far as like fornicating, I was fornicating. I was dealing a lot with smoking weed heavily. Before I got saved, and I would fall into temptations when things didn't go my way. I would fall into temptations.
Hold on. So when I say like what happened that caused you to become homeless, were you not able to pay the rent? Did you get kicked out somewhere? Were you living with mom and y'all got into arguing? Or what was it that happened to where one night you had a roof over your head, the next night you didn't?
All right, so boom. I stopped working. I work by myself. I sell candy on the martyr, and I stopped doing that because God told me to stop. I'm not knowing why He told me to stop, but I stopped, and I wasn't able to pay the roof. I was living in the Airbnb, and I wasn't able to pay.
Okay, so y'all was Airbnb-ing it. So how do we get to the Airbnb? Like, how do we get to that stage?
So before that, we was staying with our parents, but we had conflict. It was conflict between there because they didn't understand us, we didn't understand them, and we were just crashing heads. So, and we end up just moving out, leaving out.
Okay. So, because y'all are 21 right now, so, you know, when were you like? So, what's the timeline here? Like, in other words, when did you first move out your parents' house? Let's just start there.
I was 12 years old when I first left my mom's house. I was 12 years old.
12?
I was 12.
Why'd you leave at 12?
I got molested by my mom's husband at the age of 12, and I went into foster care.
Okay. So hold on. So we got into childhood, but all right. So let me regroup. So as far as the homeless situation that you was in, right? Shelters, before the shelters, Airbnb, right? So you're saying before the Airbnb, you guys was at your parents' house.
Yes.
So y'all were together at your parents' house, or
Yes.
you was at your parents' house, he was at his parents' house?
No, we was together at his mom's house, and then we
Okay.
left his mom's house. Then we went to my mom's house. Then we left my mom's house, and we went right back to his mom's house again.
Okay.
After that, and then after that, we went to an Airbnb. So from one Airbnb, we went to another Airbnb.
I get it.
And then after that Airbnb, we went to another one. And then after that, we was outside.
I get
for
it.
a
I get
month.
it. So the long and short of it, right? The long and short of it is that starting at sounds like maybe 19 or so is when you left mom's house for the last time, or were you 20?
No, I was definitely 21. This all
Okay,
happened
so this
in a
happened.
year span.
So this is all
back to
okay.
back.
Got you. Okay. 18 through 20. So when did y'all meet? How old?
I was 21 when we met. I was
Okay,
21.
so y'all just met
Yes.
like within the last year.
Yes, we
Okay,
met
okay.
a year ago.
Got you. Okay.
Almost 2
And so
years.
prior to that, right, 18 to 20, where were you living?
I was living with a friend.
A male friend or a female friend?
I was living with a female friend, but I had a male. I was dating a male.
Okay, so you're living with a female friend. Okay, and do you have any kids?
I'm actually pregnant now.
What?
Yes,
Let's
I
see
am.
what's going on. Wow, I see that little bump. Okay, it looks about 5 or 6 months or so.
3.
Oh, that's gonna be a. Well, he is a tall guy, so you know what I'm saying. Y'all got y'all an NFL, NBA player coming.
Yeah.
All right, hopefully we'll see. Okay, so and congratulations on your pregnancy.
Thank you.
And so okay, so all right, so let's just start from the beginning. So where you from?
I'm from Atlanta.
You
Georgia.
from here?
Yes.
What part? What by?
Bankhead, West Side.
Bankhead,
Road,
hey
Hollywood
man!
Road.
Shout out that West Side, man.
Unfortunately, the hood.
Yeah, hey, look, man. we it's unfortunate, but we love it.
We
You know what I'm
love it.
saying? Like I love it here. You know what I'm saying? Type deal. So okay, I get it. So all right, so growing up in Atlanta, growing up on the West Side, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
No, I didn't. I just had my mom. I got 2 other siblings. We got 3 different dads. So
Okay, so
yeah.
everybody's got their own dad. Was your dad, was he like active and present at all?
He was at the minimum child support payments.
Okay, so he was sending in child support, but as far as physically,
No.
no. What effect do you think that had on you?
It didn't really. If anything, it just. I feel as though it really didn't have an effect, because how would you know how something feel if you never had it before?
Well, because you may see other people with it. So you may see like the girl down the street, or the person at school whose dad comes around, and you're like, oh wow, look at that,
Yeah, I guess I never thought about.
Never thought about it that way?
Yeah, I
Okay.
never-
And I get that, but we're gonna explore that as we go on, right? Okay, so growing up, where were you in the birth order as far as your siblings? Oldest, middle, or youngest?
I'm the middle child.
Okay, middle child. All right. And so growing up, I guess I would say, would you say you had a fairly normal childhood? But you say that around 12 something happened to you. Mm-hmm. Was that the first time something happened?
Yes, that's the first
Around 12.
time.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so, and you say it was essentially your stepdad or your mom's boyfriend, basically.
Yes, it was my stepdad because they were married.
They were married.
So it was
Okay,
my
so it's your stepdad.
Yeah.
So he lived there and everything. And so,
Yeah.
what was it? Do you think that made him start doing that? And before you answer that, was this a one-time thing, or was it ongoing for a little while?
So it happened 4 times, maybe like in a week span, maybe a week and a half span. And honestly,
And we're talking about penetrative sex?
no, oral.
Okay.
Oral. So it was a molestation, not
Okay.
oral.
Okay, and so
Yeah.
he made you do
Yeah.
it to him. Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you think triggered that? What do you think made him, because how long had he been living there before, like what age did he start, how old were you when he started living
I had to
with
be
you
about
guys?
8 years old.
So he had been living there for about 4 years at that point. The oldest sibling that you had was a brother or a sister?
A brother.
A brother? How many years older?
3.
3? And so I'm imagining this stuff would happen at the house. Like, how would it happen? Like, how did you have mom and I guess the brothers and nobody knew? Like, what happened?
Yeah, so the first night it happened, everybody was asleep. It shocked me. I was laying down. I could remember like it was yesterday. And he came and tapped me, and he was like, shh. Like, soon he opened. Soon I opened my eyes, he was like, shut. So he took me to the living room. He was like, yeah, your mom don't do this stuff. I want you to be my new wife. I asked your mom to do it. She don't never do it. And that's when it just happened. And I didn't know. After that, I don't even know what I was thinking. I was young. he had gave me money after. I never did anything with the money because my mama never been the type we can hang out with friends. We could go anywhere. Like, she's never been that type of person to even let us go outside. So I never told my mom, but I went to school. I told my friend, and she ended up telling the counselor people, and they ended up telling DFACS. DFACS came to the house. And
so let me slow you down real quick. So, because you say it happened like in kind of rapid succession within like a week and a half, about 4 times. Well, you said it specifically 4 times. You remember specifically doing it 4 times.
Yeah.
When did you tell? Was it after the first time or after the 4th time?
After the last time. Is when
Okay,
I told.
and so after the first time, or even the second or third, what were you thinking? Like, what was like, like what were you thinking was happening? You know,
I was numb. I don't even remember having thoughts for real. I don't remember feeling anything. I just remember feeling very uncomfortable when I was around him, or just even like.
In other words, like the second and third time, right? Was he just like, all right, come on and do it, like you already know type deal? And he gave you money each time?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, I can't remember how much money it was. I was young. I was 12.
Yeah, you didn't have a concept of
Yeah.
really, and it sound, especially if you like didn't go outside and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You didn't have a concept. It could have been Monopoly money.
Right.
Like, you told your friend, she told the counselor, and then what happened?
She told DFACS, and DFACS came to me. I talked to him in the school. I told him everything, and then I didn't know. I know nothing about DFACS. These people came to the house. So when you live with your mom and you feel like you can't be honest or vulnerable to her, you live out of fear.
Yeah.
So they came, and when they came, they asked me in front of my mom, did it happen? I lied and I said no. I didn't lie and say no because it never happened. I lied and say no because I was fearful, because when they left, I'm still there with my mom. Y'all not there.
Right.
So I lied. But then I eventually just came out. I was like, yeah, he did it again. Like,
to who?
I stood on it. Now, that I really can't remember, but I stood on that. And, it was a whole case. DFAS got involved.
How long in between when you lied about it to when you stood on it?
It was not that long. I really can't remember.
Okay, so maybe like a week or so?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so like, I guess you felt like, man, I ain't living under this.
Yeah.
Because did he try to do something afterwards?
No.
I bet he didn't.
No, my mom didn't even believe me. My mom didn't even believe me. Yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. But did the stepdad try to do anything with you after?
No.
Right, so he was probably shook.
Yeah.
At that point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so mom didn't believe you. How did that make you feel?
It really hurted me, y'all. I really cried. It hurted me to my core, for real, because it's just like, dang, like. And the thing is, I knew she believed me. We had a camera in our living room. I just felt as though she didn't want to leave her husband. She wanted to stay with her husband.
Yeah.
See, like I said, we was raised in the hood. We ended up moving to Union City. So, she was getting Michael Kors bags, things in that nature that no man ever did for her before.
Right.
She was getting those things, and that's what she was holding on to.
Okay.
She didn't want to let that go. She thought that love was the love for her.
Wow.
So yeah,
wow.
It really hurted me.
Your younger sibling is a brother or sister?
A sister.
Huh. Do you think he did anything to her, or
No,
she never said
she
anything like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, because what effect do you think that had on you?
Okay, and y'all, and it may seem crazy, but I feel like it had a great effect on me, because I was able, when like I said, I was 12 years old when I left. I went into foster care because my behavior started changing. I started running away.
Okay,
I started running away and not want to be home. I started like just acting out in school, and I didn't even know why. I guess
What
I had
did that
anger.
acting out look like?
If somebody would say something to me wrong, I would
Snap off, pop off.
Yes.
See, and the reason why I ask these questions is because we see these type of behaviors in some young ladies, and we just think they're just being bad, or they're just doing this or doing that. But these may be signs that something may be happening.
Trauma.
Yep. Okay, so you ended up in the system, and you felt like that was a good thing for you.
That was a great thing for me, actually.
And why so?
I got to experience life at an early age, and I got to experience the do's and the don'ts of life. I got to experience the club life. I got to experience all this other stuff that now I don't want to do at the age of 21, because I experienced it at such a young age.
I get that, right? I get that, but I'm gonna tell you that wears off, because I was the same way. I did a lot of things earlier, and then by the time I was like around 21, I was like, man, I'm grown. I'm too old for that stuff. And then by the time I was like 28, I was like, I miss being a kid. I got to do all that stuff again. So just expect it to come back around at some point. Trust me, it does. But okay, so Because you're saying in foster care, it sounds like you just had a lot of freedom to do
Yes,
this,
I
that, and the
had
third.
freedom and I had no guidance.
So let me ask you this. Did the molestation that you went through, did it make you, because some people it makes them hypersexual and some people it makes them the opposite where they like completely withdraw from sex?
Yeah, it very much turned me off. I didn't like men. I didn't want nothing to do with men. I didn't want nothing to do with sex. I didn't want nothing to do with that.
Yeah, because I mean, does that trauma, like in other words, does that affect the relationship that you have now?
No, it surely don't.
Okay, so no, that's a great thing. All right. Okay, and so you essentially, did you finish high school?
So I didn't finish high school because I was, like I said, I was in foster care. When I was in
You was
group
wilding
homes,
out. You was wilding out. You know what I'm saying? You was
very
wilding
much
out.
wilding out.
Right.
But I did go back last year to get my high school diploma, though.
Okay.
I didn't go back to school, but I got it through
A program. Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
I get it. So you got your high school diploma or GED equivalent, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So okay, so you got the diploma actually.
Yes, I got the diploma.
That's a great thing. That's a good thing. Okay, and so, all right, is any of that stuff that happened back then the reason why you and mom didn't get along when you was kind of going back here and there and all this stuff, kind of back and forth, to where you couldn't stay with mom eventually and that type of stuff?
Well, it didn't lead to me not staying with mom, but it led to a relationship strained relationship. Yeah, because she still, I feel as though she had to deal with that guilt and all that stuff. And when my mom get in relationships, her head just that person brain is thinking for her. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? It's not.
So
it's not
is she still with that guy?
No, she's not. They're still married, but they're separated.
Okay. Does she believe you now that happened, or? I
feel as though my mom always believed me. She just wanted to be with. She was just so.
Well, I mean, has she validated?
She never. No. My mom never. And I brought it up the last time I brought it up was maybe like a couple months ago when I was staying with her, and she was silent. Her body language change was like she wanted to say she believed it, but her pride didn't let her say it.
So let me do this, right? One of the things that we do on this channel, we have conversations with people when they're not right in front of us, right? Because it just helps us to really get off all our feelings without being interrupted or gaslit or anything like that, right? So in that regard, as far as to mom, right? In relation to that situation, just what do you want to tell her? What do you want to, ask her, or whatever it is?
The first thing I would ask her was why she never validated that she believed me. And the second thing I want to tell her is I do understand why you wouldn't believe that. And I probably had a question about her past, like if it happened to you before, if it happened to, your sister, or if it happened in the household that somebody didn't do that same thing to you. So maybe that you put it off on me. And that's really about it. And that I don't have no grudges. Like, I love my mom too.
Yeah, you got a beautiful energy, beautiful spirit, beautiful smile too.
Thank you.
And I guess though, I can't help but to think in my head, and this may be crass, so audience forgive me, and you forgive me too, right? If this is crass, but do you think that if mom was, giving them toppy, you know what I'm saying, that he would have ever came at you like that?
No, I don't think so. Because he did say that my mom don't do the things that
right, and I can understand, because how old is your mom?
My mom is 44.
Right, and see, so I'm 41 going on 42, right? And so I know that the generation I come from and the ones before that, giving head was like a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't used to want to do it a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then all of a sudden, like, the next generation used to just, like, they came along and they were just doing it like, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't nothing. So if you're dealing with women that are like about 10 years or so, or maybe even 5 to 10 years younger than me, sloppy toppy all day long. You know what I'm saying? But with some of the women that are in my generation and generations older than me, they be tripping about that. And so I would wonder, like, because what are they, like, that's, if you're married to them, that's one of your duties. You know what I'm saying? And essentially doing that, and, obviously, we're not excusing the guy's behavior.
Right.
Okay? But just thinking logically, doing that may have prevented trauma from happening to her daughter.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, people got to, I don't know, like, if you get into something, you know, take care of business. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's wild. So, all right, well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time, answering all of our questions. If anybody out there did want to reach out, help, or donate, you have a way for them to do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
Yes. My Cash App is is JSTEW 2021, and I don't use social media, but that's about it.
Man, you got this good girl thing going on. I love this, man. I love it. I love it. All right, so like I say, we really appreciate you. Definitely wish you nothing but the best. All right.
Thank you.
Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
Have a good
All
one.
right. All right.
Bye.